Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on our comic book creator interviews, including our monthly Chichester chats with comic book legend DG Chichester, superhero movie brackets in our search for the worst comic book movie of all time, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
Avast me hearties, and welcome once again to Full Stream Ahead. Arg. I be your Captain Charlie, the Professor Esser, and with me as always is me first mate and skinny rich friend.
It's Mozz.
Hey Mozz, welcome back to tonight's episode. Marvel One-Shot, Item 47. Shield Agent Stillwell is assigned to recover an abandoned Chitauri weapon being used by a young couple robbing a bank. Our director this week is Louis Esposito. Louis is the executive producer on just about everything Marvel of late. So I don't know what he does, but he does it. And of course, we've got Eric Pearson, who does our screenplay on there and is, of course, our wonderful writer who has written so many of these great pieces. And likewise, we have our cast and crew, Lizzie Kaplan, Jesse Bradford, Maximiliano Hernandez, and Titus Welliver as Agent Blake. We get a bank teller who's Nathan D. Snyder, and Melanie Hubert was Lexi. I don't recall who Lexi was, but there we go. So this is fun. Although it's also interesting, and this again seems like it is 100% meant to be an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. type story. That, it even, it puts, it makes the reference to, how used they are to giving these assignments to Coulson, but, he's gone. And, it's interesting to me. And this is one of these, like, the big questions for me now is, like, what is Sitwell's timeline? Like, when does he get turned into Hydra? Was he really Hydra? Was he a plant for Hydra working deep cover the whole time? And, this sort of scene here, it's one of these ones where, like this and the consultant, if he's Hydra then, it puts a different spin on it. But if he's not Hydra then, it's not that long until he does become a trusted Hydra agent. But
I think he's Hydra now.
You think he's Hydra now?
That was my impression of it. I always assumed he was Hydra from the beginning. And when I look at this, that's the lens through which I saw all of this. I'm always waiting, looking for like the subtle tells in his face, like, oh, this is going to be good for my Hydra overlords. Oh, this is going to be juicy information.
Yeah.
I don't know if I saw it, but I saw it in my mind's eye because I was looking for it. So every little switch was like, oh, there he is putting it in the bank for later,
Yes, but it also then makes me wonder if he knows about Coulson yet, because Stillwell does eventually learn about Coulson. And again, in this one, we get that whole level and knowledge item here of, just like we saw in the consultant where it's like, oh, I'm level 6. Well,
right. That information might be compartmentalized.
Yes.
And even though his clearance might be high, strategically, it's not important to him to know that.
And in this one, but in this moment, it's interesting. Because again, we don't know. Does Stillwell know that he is alive and he's just playing the part? Or does Stillwell also think that he's dead still too? And one thing we can pretty much be sure of is that no one told Maximiliano, I'm trying to remember the guy's name, Maximiliano Hernandez, any of this stuff at the time, because from what the actors have told us, they're like, actually, no, they don't tell us that. They like just say, oh, here's who you are. And they're, here are your lines. This is the scene. These are the words that are coming out of your mouth. If you want something more, we can probably tell you where your feelings are at, but we're not going to tell you what's the truth, So, I'm sure that when Sidwell found out he was Hydra, he was like, I'm Hydra? Dang it. But then again... Mm-hmm.
Or that made him more important than just a background, employee.
Yeah. But we also know that when he's revealed to be Hydra, it is actually in Winter Soldier. So that when he dies in that. Or does he, or does he?
Right.
Got hit by a truck. Or did he,
It's an interesting it's an interesting thought, like how to take like a tiny role and make something big out of it. Just put something, no one's going to know, like they're just filming something that could be something, and you throw like a little bit of performance in there that hints at something else. It could cause the people in the future be like, oh, that's interesting. I like the way, what if, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And it causes the writers to find inspiration about an idea. So it's a really interesting, powerful thing that you can throw into your performances that people can leverage later on.
Mm-hmm. Exactly,
I doubt that that's what he did, but it's an interesting thought that one could undertake.
Yeah. Well, and then you never know. And that's an interesting thing in this, because that also goes into the, there was a thing with Secret Invasion. And this is something I brought up on other shows, that when Bendis was writing Secret Invasion, he started writing Secret Invasion before he was actually writing Secret Invasion. In fact, when he did his pitch for Secret Invasion, he says, well, I just got to let you know, on every single book that I've written over the last however many years I've been at Marvel, I've been seeding these things for a Secret Invasion plot that I was going to pitch to you guys eventually, and this is what it is.
That's beautiful.
So it is entirely, and that's also, and that's the one thing, because there's like all this stuff with the Secret Invasion series, where it keeps on getting pushed back and delayed, and part of me wonders if it's just like, that it's not so much that it's being delayed, it's that no, actually we're just weaving all the Secret Invasion stuff into everything you're going to be seeing. It's like, oh, you thought that was Wong? No, it's, it could be anything, when we get down to it as the time progresses. So, when we get to the actual Secret Invasion, there's going to be a lot more happening in the story.
Right. Just look at the intricacies that they've been able to weave just with haphazardness, right? This was there, we'll turn it into this. This was there. Now having the scope and the power to move things that they do now. Imagine the kind of intricacies they can build into the storyline. So you're probably absolutely right. I can't wait to see what they're setting up that we can't even see yet.
Oh yeah, and that's always the most fun aspect of it, is what comes next. So we do have this young couple, who somehow and of course, and again, this is the kind of thing that predates but establishes something that is going to play out in the Marvel Universe, because of course,
that was totally
the Vulture. Well, no, not only that, but just the fact that, actually stuff went missing from the cleanup. That there was a lot of stuff that was unaccounted for. Which, again, when you get to that first episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the thing that Ward is tracking down is a Chitauri Neuralink. Because, of course, what happened was that, yes, Damage Control was put in charge of clearing all this stuff out, but Damage Control was working with Hydra and S.H.I.E.L.D., and also...
Not only that, but the war was happening everywhere. It's like when we left, Afghanistan, we left a bunch of weapons behind, right? So it's like that kind of the spoils of a conflict will be there. You're right. There's probably so many more items out there that people are leveraging like this.
Yes, but I did like the way that this is just, and again, to show that limited view of the guy in the room. It's like there were 47, there were 47 items and one went missing, and like, where is this item how is this out there? But I also like the fact that the central theme of this guy got it working. This guy, is some kind of genius from something that, whatever he was meant to do, he is smart enough to figure out something that no one at S.H.I.E.L.D. or Hydra was able to figure out at that point. That they could not, and that, they had been working on certain Hydra weapons since their Tesseract days. But to actually reverse engineer this Chitauri weapon was really, really a big deal. And when you watch the end of this, after the two thieves have become agents or have become members of the organization, would be assets for the organization. Again, another thing, I don't think that Sitwell says that they'd be assets to S.H.I.E.L.D., just as assets to the organization. So you never know. But we do see this escalation of weaponry that was in the blueprints as the credits roll on this. I really like this episode on a lot of levels, but the most is just the fact that it does show, again, it's another proof of concept for what you can do with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's a proof of concept of how you can create these dynamics between characters and have that dynamic be as much of a drive as the action adventure. Because in this one, we get that dynamic between the two agents. We get the dynamic between the couple, and then we get the action adventure of them robbing the bank and counting the money, and then the rather quick, to be sure, fight with Agent Sitwell in the hotel. And I really like the phrasing that they use in that, which was that he is when he has them tied up. And they explain what they did and how they were able to do it. And he says, well, my job here is to neutralize you. But, of course, the neutralization was just, no, now you're going to work for us. It's like, I can either neutralize you by having you work with us, and, we will put your skills to their best use.
Right. Your skills are no longer a threat because they are an ally now.
Exactly. And that is something that, again, ties directly into what they do with Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the recruitment of Skye. And the fact that, of course, in that ward is much like Agent Blake is like, who are these people to come in? It's like, these are people that were able to figure out something that none of our people could do. So they're useful to us. And we have to respect that usefulness and what they can do for us and what they will do for us. And I think that's a wonderful, wonderful token. Any final thoughts on tonight's episode, Mozz?
I kept seeing Fitz and Simmons this whole episode. It really made me want those characters back. So I hope they do get to bring Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. back before those actors aren't available, or Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would love to see them be brought back in, maybe even have a more authoritative role in the universe. But I'm happy just as long as they get a job.
Right,
if they bring them in, if they bring them in for a couple of Q scenes, and here's the tech, Here are the people, just like they did when they brought them into the Amazing Spider-Man universe, the cartoons. They, just had the actors show up and, did their little Fitz and Simmons bit, and then sent off the little teenage superheroes on their adventures. All right, Mozz. Folks out there, this is a show that we do here on the Capes and Lunatics Network. We have a lot of shows on Capes and Lunatics, including Capes and Lunatics, Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks, Full Stream Head, which is what you're listening to now, and Super Connectivity. And you can write to any of these shows at CapesandLunatics@gmail.com. That's CapesandLunatics, all one word, at gmail.com. You can also call us at 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And most importantly, you can go to Linktree. Down in the show notes, so you don't have to remember this, but down in our show notes, you can go to Linktree, that's linktr.ee/CapesandLunatics. There you're going to find not only a list for all of our shows, which are all amazing, but you will find links to our merch, including ice cold aluminum mugs that just keep your drink cold all night. It's wonderful. Will also keep your coffee hot all day if that is your choice. Amazing t-shirts that fit even fat guys like me, and many, many other items, including an ability to subscribe to our Patreon and provide financial assistance to us, because we are on our own. So many ways to help us. And for $5, as low as $5 a month, you'll get full video access, including topless movie reviews.
So you're telling me that I could get comfortable clothes? I could get mugs that keep my drinks warm or cold if I want them to? And I could get topless movie reviews?
Yes, topless movie reviews. That is all for, well, $5 a month is the Patreon, and then whatever you want to pay for the various merchandise items. All right. It is a great deal. That's my little pitch man there. Mozz, if anyone would like to reach out to you, talk to you about tonight's episode or anything else, how can they do so?
Oh, they can email me at mozzmanzor@gmail.com or find me on Facebook under Mozz Manzor. That's MOZZMANZOOR.
Beautiful. All right. Oh, now it's my turn. And of course, you always refer to me in that old-fashioned... I forgot my cue. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, let me do it. Don't talk over me. And you can always write to me in that old-fashioned email way that our mothers and fathers once did at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. And follow me on the Twitter as I live tweet things when I feel like them at Charlie Esser. That's CharlieEssescr. Look for the two E's in the middle.
For quality. Ping.
Thank you. All right, me hearties. You have come through another tumultuous sea of internet enjoyments. Please join us again next week as we once again sail full stream ahead. Argyle socks. Okay. Okay, do you want to do the third one?
Let's do that next week. I just noticed there's 3 other ones on there. The Team Thor. Are they just as short?
They're actually a little bit longer. They're the ones that are by Takio Watiti. They're fun, but they are very non-canonical. Okay. So, if you want, we can continue to do these. We'll do Hail to the King next. We can do that, and we can do it as twofers on the upcoming Moon Knights. Because these are all going to be banked at this point.
We should have done these as little post-credit additions to the. That would have been fun.
There's lots of things we can do. Maybe we'll put them all up on Patreon. But okay, so then next week, next week. So if you want to do this on Wednesday of next week, that's just as the new Moon Knight drops. So you probably won't want to record that then, but we can record. Yeah,
the Team Thor ones are all 3 or 4 minutes each, so we can do them at the end of each episode of that.
Yeah, well, do you want to do them as a secondary episode?
Yeah.
So that's the idea is creating the filler short episodes that can go up when we have a lull of content to do.
Interesting.
Because I wanted to do some stuff that would be a little bit evergreen, that we could set up and just have on the back burner. Because, for example, most likely, what's going to post is going to be Funny Thing Happened, because the next episode will be The Consultant, then Funny Thing Happened on the way to Thor's Hammer. We might not get to item 47 before the first Moon Knight launches.
Oh, so then we'll have that in the bag.
Yeah, but we'll have those in the bag, so we'll run through Moon Knight, and then we'll have a few more in the bag that can carry us through until the next thing starts.
So Moon Knight drops Wednesday?
The 31st, I believe that is, or the 30th, whatever Wednesday is, whatever next Wednesday is.
30th.
Yeah, the 30th. So that's when Moon Knight drops, and then so like if we do Hail to the King on Tuesday, or whatever, and then we can do Moon Knight like the next Tuesday, so you have a week to watch it.
Nice.
And then if you want, we can also do one of the Team Thors or one of the Team.
Or All Hail the King.
Yeah, well, we'll do All Hail the King at some point. Yeah, so we can do that with Moon Knight or separate from Moon Knight if you want to do something next week. You know, depending on when you want. Basically, depending on when you want to record it, we can record it, and that'll be cool.
Right on.
All right.
Sounds like a plan.
Right on. I will talk to you soon, my friend. Good.